Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Tuesday, the 16th of January 2024, the year of 1,000,000 transactions per second or more. Buy BSV.live, probably the best place to buy Bitcoin SV online, the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin. Here we go, let's get into it. So first of all, let's get into a little bit of Bitcoin history. I'm loving this little series that I'm putting together because there is never a dull moment in crypto. Oh my goodness me. So yesterday we had Bitcoin appearing on The Good Wife back in 2012 for the first time. And today, here we go. This is the epic tweet from Craig, one of his most famous. So on the 16th of January 2009, Dr. Craig Wright, under the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto, wrote, "It might make sense just to get some in case it catches on. If enough people think the same way, that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy." Check it out. There we go. We'll use that as our thumbnail image for today. And let's have a look at this quote in the actual email thread. So this carried on from a previous one that was on the 11th of January, where they go on about. So this is the total circulation will be 21 million coins. That was like a massive bombshell moment. It was the first time we'd heard about that. And the fact that coins are not spendable until 120 blocks afterwards. And then here we go. So on the 16th of January, and this was Dustin D. Trammell wrote, I think it's in reply to Satoshi Nakamoto wrote in reply. So let's go through this. He says, I think there were a lot more people interested in the 90s, but after more than a decade of failed, trusted third-party based systems, DigiCash, etc., they see it as a lost cause. I hope they can make the distinction that this is the first time I know of that we're trying a non-trusted based system. Yeah, that was the primary feature that caught my eye. The real trick will be to get people to actually value the Bitcoins so that they become currency. So maybe this is the first time that Craig has actually titled Bitcoin with a capital C. This might be it. We might have just found it on the 16th of January 2009. I wonder if he's called related or called Bitcoin with a capital C prior to this moment. That's the first time I've seen it. Wow. Check it out. Check it out. Loving that. So that they become currency. So again, they're not currency. They are a commodity. They are money. I would be surprised if 10 years from now, we're not using electronic currency in some way. Now that we know a way to do it, that won't inevitably get dumbed down when the trusted third party gets cold feet. It could get started in a narrow niche like reward points, donation tokens, currency for a gamer, or micropayments for adult sites. Initially, talking about adult sites there, getting saucy. Initially, it can be used for proof of work applications for services that could almost be free but not quite. It can already be used for pay to send email. The send dialog is resizable and you can enter a long of a message as you like. It's sent directly when it connects. Its receipts, double check it's on the transaction to see the full message. If someone famous is getting more email than they can read, you could still like to have a way for fans to connect them. They could set up a Bitcoin and give out the IP address on their website. Send X Bitcoins to my priority hotline at this IP and I will read the message personally. That is a fantastic way of doing it. Similar to Baymail by Degan, who's created that. I mean, that's a really good way. Subscription sites that need some extra proof of work for their free trial so it doesn't cannibalize subscriptions could charge Bitcoins for the trial. It might make sense just to get some in case it catches on. If enough people think the same way, that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Once it gets bootstrapped, there are so many applications. If you could effortlessly pay a few cents to a website as easily as dropping coins into a vending machine. Satoshi Nakamoto. And then the next one carries on tomorrow. So tomorrow's email, just to give you a little bit of insight into what's coming, a chap called Jonathan Thornburg talks about netbots. Here we go, look. Spammer netbots. But again, he also asks, am I missing something? There we go. He says, is there something obvious that I've missed? Well, yeah, you've missed the chain of signatures, and you've also missed the fixed supply. Is what that is. But there we go. That's your little bit of Bitcoin history for today. What a fantastic day this is in history. I've also found this. So AMB Crypto, they do numerous reports each day. This was actually the 16th of January 2020. So it says a Bitcoin advocate explains how unconfirmed transactions get queued up on based on TNX fee. And then another one, Portfolio Tracker Crypto Pro launches dedicated Mac OS app. Yep, same one. And then Ethereum locked in DeFi will exceed $1 billion in 2020. Woo! Again, that was reported 16th of January 2020. CoinGecko recently published its yearly report for 2019, which talked about the developments in the DeFi space and its potential for growth in 2020. The report suggested that DeFi will continue to push through 2020, with over $1 billion locked into its apps on the Ethereum blockchain. Yeah, probably never to be returned. Again, I mean, all these scams like NFTs, DeFi, Web3, it's just caused mass speculation. And where's it led to? Absolutely nothing. Literally one day these scammers are going to run out of scams. And it looks like they have, because I haven't seen any like massive scams. The Luna collapse, they've had Sam Bankman Fried and his FTX collapse. I mean, my goodness me, Bored Apes and all that crap. My goodness me, how much shit is in this space. But we know it's all a distraction away from the genuine Bitcoin. So let's get into a bit of news. So Diego has posted here, and this was actually on the CoinCap site. Quotes here, nChain chief scientist Craig Wright, who is widely known as the pseudonymous creator of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto, has been a supporter of BSV since the split between BCH and BSV in 2018. Following the proposal of controversial protocol changes by several BCH developers. Oh, can you believe it? Can you believe it? Well, let's see if we can actually find that here, shall we? So let's go down to BSV. Look at that right down here, number 47. Why would anybody really give this, all the BTC scammers, why would they give this such notoriety when it's just number 47? Like, what's your issue that you've got with it, shall we? But let's have a look down here. So here we go. So it says, who are the founders of SV? Let's have a look. Oh, look at this. Let's read through this. Blockchain technology company nChain developed the BSV node software and has regularly delivered protocol upgrades that restore the functionality of the original Bitcoin protocol. Thank you very much. nChain now provides the BSV infrastructure team, which continues to advance the node software and other infrastructure tools for the BSV network. nChain chief scientist Craig Wright, who is widely known as the pseudonymous creator of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto, has been a supporter of BSV since the split between BCH and BSV in 2018, following the proposal of controversial protocol changes by several BCH developers. Again, it was BCH that changed, just like it was BTC that changed. BSV is the original protocol. Loving that. And then just for a little bit of gossip, we've gone back and found this on at Bitcoin on Twitter. Can you believe it? Do my eyes deceive me, or is that B the correct way up? So in other words, it's not crooked, it's not forward, it's not back, it is straight as a whistle. And it looks to me like they are changing the shade of orange to a kind of like yellowy colour. Could this be like a gradual progression? It looks like it to me, because we all know what's going to happen, especially with this court case coming up. Oh yes, indeed. My goodness me. And are these BTC scammers shitting themselves? Well, it looks like it. I mean, let's take a look at this, shall we, for example. So Null C, this is Greg Maxwell. Let's just read this. So it says, because Satoshi was the only one mining the chain for a significant period of time. Well, let me think. So Hal Finney posted running Bitcoin on the 12th of January 2009. But the Genesis block was created on the 3rd of January 2009. But block 1, which was the first spendable Bitcoin, was not created until the 9th of January. So 6 days later. And then Hal was running Bitcoin on the 12th of January, which was 3 days after that. So it wasn't really a significant period of time, mate, because it was just one block that was mined between the 3rd and the 9th, you know. So he says block 1 was mined many hours after the public release of Bitcoin. No. Block 1 was created on the 9th of January 2009. So that was not ours, because the release of Bitcoin, what? Is he referring to the Genesis block? Anyway, let's continue. So he says, block 1 was mined many hours after the public release of Bitcoin. For all we know, it wasn't even mined by Satoshi, and block 0's Coinbase output isn't spendable, again because it's an anchor. It's quite possible that the very first Bitcoins were mined by someone else. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Honestly, if this isn't getting desperate, I don't know what is. If that isn't enough for you, here's a new signature from the key in block 309. The Times 2021, that's October 12th. Britain must learn from big mistakes on COVID, says report. What's all this about? Okay, and then it's got, that might be the master key or something. So, plenty of reason to doubt there was any time Satoshi was the only one mining the chain. What are you talking about? And a hard proof other people were mining by at least block 309. Well, yeah, of course. Don't fall for Wright's scam claims about Bitcoin's history. They're still just fake and false. When people leave Wright's name off of them, the claim that Satoshi mined 1 million Bitcoins is more or less an excerpt from Wright's stories and isn't something we know factually. There is evidence, well, again, I mean, nobody disputes that Satoshi mined block 9, because the Bitcoins that were actually sent to Hal Finney on the 12th of January 2009 were from block 9, and Hal Finney was communicating with Satoshi Nakamoto. So it says, and block 9 was in the Tulip Trust, known as the Satoshi coins. There is evidence that an early miner mined a few 100,000 coins, but not 1 million, and not evidence it was Satoshi. The 1 million claim comes from adding up all previous unspent coins mined in Bitcoin's first year, which is clearly false, and which is why Wright has gotten caught claiming to own other people's coins. That's not correct when it says Bitcoin's first year. So the Tulip Trust was actually created on the 9th of June 2011. Which represented about 45% of the overall circulating supply at that time. So it started effectively mining, well, yeah, when the Bitcoin software was released on the 9th of January 2009, but the Tulip Trust wasn't created until, like I said, the 3rd of June 2011. So this just doesn't make sense at all. Yeah, I mean, they're just getting really desperate. But we know why they're getting desperate. Because Craig has moved $1.2 million worth of BTC into Satoshi's wallet in case he loses the case, to pay the security deposit for the developers, to pay for the privilege of proving that he's Satoshi Nakamoto. So he has to pay that if he loses, but then he'll have to move it from Satoshi's wallet that was created on the 3rd of January 2009. No one else was on the network other than Satoshi. This is so funny. We'll have to see how this plays out. So there we go. That'll do for today. Hope you enjoyed it. And remember, largest court case in financial history coming up on the 5th of February 2024. Stay tuned. We'll bring you more. I believe there's about 21 days now and counting. So as ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.